Hi, I'm Sabrina Stowe, Fire and Life Safety Educator for the Winston-Salem Fire Department.
And I'm Rodney Cooper, Assistant Fire Marshal for the Winston-Salem Fire Department.
This week we will turn our attention to fire prevention and home safety, specifically cooking safety. Every home is unique in that some are one story, some have multiple levels. They can be built with different materials, have different upgrades and different decorations. But one thing all homes have in common is a kitchen stove.
And too often, the kitchen stove is where fire problems begin when you don't practice cooking safety. As Chief Mayo mentioned in week 1, a fire occurs in the United States every 24 seconds, and more than half of the 1.3 million fires last year started as a result of unattended cooking.
Today we will join Platoon 2 at Fire Station number 8 on Renota Road to go over some kitchen and cooking safety tips to help you stay fire safe.
Welcome to Station 8, I'm Captain Teal. We'll be talking about cooking safety tips in the home. Let's get started. When I run calls, and whether it's a medical call, fire alarm, and I see things of this nature on the stove, I kind of talk to the homeowner about it. Your cookbook, recipe books, whatever you're preparing, we tell the homeowner to keep these things off of the burner. Your recipe books, let's put it to the side. Whatever you're preparing, because what happens is if you accidentally turn the burner on, then that can actually ignite the combustibles that's actually on top of the actual stove and cause fires. Next thing I want to talk about is while cooking, using towels, just like firefighter Reed has a towel draped over his shoulder. Also, talking about baggy clothing as well, be mindful of that. Because reaching over an eye, it can actually catch that garment on fire. Be mindful to put it to the side. That way, it doesn't drop on the eye itself of the burner and cause a fire. Next point I want to talk about is see how these handles are actually turned out. They actually need to be turned in. That way, whatever you're cooking, if you accidentally hit it, could actually cause a third-degree burn by falling and getting, contact with your skin. Also, be mindful when you're cooking to have some type of pot holder readily available in case you have to move a pan. Next point I want to talk about is when you're cooking, having a lid or cover to actually cover the pot or pan you're using, just in case a fire was to occur. Basically, if a fire was to occur and I felt comfortable enough to actually put this lid on there to extinguish the fire, I put it on just like that. And what that does is it takes the oxygen out of the equation and extinguish the fire. And the one thing you don't want to do is put water on a grease fire. We refer to when a person puts water on an actual grease fire, the fire actually becomes a happy fire. It intensifies that fire. So these was a few cooking tips that we shared with you today, and thank you for watching.
I hope you learned a lot about kitchen and cooking safety. Always remain in the kitchen when you cook your food on the stovetop, or as we say, stand by your pan.
Join us next week as we demonstrate the proper use of a fire extinguisher, where to store it, and the type of extinguisher you should have in your home.
See you next week.